Good evening, everyone. How's everyone
Hey,
doing?
good, good.
Hi.
So we haven't seen you all in about a week or so. We went on a road trip to Greenville, South Carolina, to an art show. Hung out the weekend. Myself, Bonnie, and Wendy. We had a great time, and I know you guys have been watching the video because it's got a lot of views. So thank you. We're just trying to show you some different things that are going on that you can do as a single woman waiting to find that silver lining. Right, ladies?
Recently, yes, yes. Yeah.
So we have with us today, Tammy has decided to join us again this evening. So welcome back, Tammy.
Hey, Tim.
Hey,
Hello.
what's up, Tammy?
Ladies, is there anything that you'd like to say about our recent adventures? We did something else as well.
Oh yeah, we went to I I forgot the name of that
Jimmy Tequila.
who?
Jimmy
El
Tequila.
Oh, Jimmy Tequila. Okay, we went to Jimmy Tequila's and had a good mix and mingle, and something else you ladies might be interested in, mix and mingle for the singles, and played games, had drinks, live entertainment. I mean, everybody was sophisticated, gorgeous, and it was nice.
I really wish some of you guys could have joined us. We probably will do it again. So we just want you to guys come out. It's a great band. Clyde is what's the name, Chris? I don't want to say it.
Time Flight. Time Flight.
Time Flight Band is a great band that our friend Clyde is a part of. And he's going to join us pretty soon, too, for an episode. So stay tuned.
So I want to tell you, when Clyde joins us, that's going to be a great conversation, ladies. Yeah, you want to be here for that one. So, ladies, our show is all about finding the silver lining because we believe that there is a silver lining, but also there's this little caption floating around that women shouldn't marry men that have children. I think that is that how it goes, Tammy? Women
No,
should.
it's not that. It's um grown children.
Yeah, adult children. Women
It,
should marry older men that have adult children because they say you will never be his family. And what that means, I'll let Tammy speak to this a little bit as well before the other ladies jump in. What that means is that you will be his lover, you will be in his life, but you won't be in his will. Is that correct, Tammy?
um, I think that's what it is. But I mean, obviously, I think if you get married, you're supposed to be in a person's will. However, I guess it depends on how they wrote the will. So what I came across in a video, which which I thought was really interesting, I never thought about this before, is that when you become involved or marry an older man who has grown kids, um, the notion always that those children always come first and foremost, in terms of anything of value or high value, is left in relation to um, house or any type of property, money. You're going to have that fight from the children. So let's just say you had only been dating somebody for a year, right? So how does that year trump your children, right? So, and if something happens to that person that you're dating, you've been dating for a year, I even say 2 years. Um, so to the children, that's not enough history to feel, oh yeah, yeah, you should have a house, or you should get this, or you should get that. So it becomes a you against.
It becomes a tug of war. But that's when, and Wendy and Bonnie, you can chime in on this. That's when you need to know upfront, just how we talked about finding out if a man has a life insurance policy. Do the same. If you're married to him, you need to know whether or not he has a will, and you need to have, that's a hard conversation. Am I in your will? Well, then if you're not in the will, then you have to decide how that directs your life, because just as Tammy just said, you might not be, foremost in the will, but if you're married to him and you're not in the will, you still have a leg to stand on because you're married to him.
Right,
I don't
right.
know, I don't know all the legalities to it, but I wouldn't let that go just for naught.
Well, you could be in the will, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get certain items or certain things that you may
Think, right, you think that you should get because you've been with him.
It could be contested. The children could contest the will.
Exactly,
grown
if you
children
are in,
most likely will contest the will if the spouse is, you know, getting all of the person's property. But
I definitely call that a snag in our silver lining. It's just a snag.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
You
yeah.
either you're gonna have the conversation or you getting in the relationship. And this is just an eye opener. And I think all of us women, it opened our eyes to something as we talked and spoke about being single and getting hooked up with your significant other, whether to be married or a partnership. We never thought that, oh my God, I could be with this person for years and, you know, I'm not even the one that's thought of who took care of the person, maybe if they got ill during their relationship or something like that. And I will say quickly, being a survivor of a first national disaster, American disaster, I learned that so many of the people who worked, and this is 9/11, and so many people who worked at the Port Authority, when they got the job, they were young and maybe first married or with their girlfriends, however. And when they did the policy in the beginning, they put those people on there. But as time went on, and people were there for years and years and years, okay? And as time went on, they never changed the policy. Even the man did not think about changing the policy. It's not something we think about. So that's why I'm calling this an eye opener, because it is something to think about. So when everything happened and those people died, their money went to the original person on their policy, not even that the man forgot about them or didn't care about them or didn't think that much of them. But the point was the man himself did not even think about changing the will or changing the insurance policy. And the first person on there got everything, no contesting or anything. They have changed laws now. They have changed laws because there were a lot of same-sex couples. There were a lot of same-sex couples that didn't get anything. Okay, because they were same sex. They have changed that now. There's a different law now. So that catastrophe actually did change a lot of legalities concerning it. But at the time, it wasn't, and it was terrible.
So let me ask you, would that be a consideration if you met someone and you really liked them and you knew that they had older children, maybe their previous wife was deceased or, they didn't have a relationship with that person at all, but, their kids were strongly in their life. Would that be something that you all would consider before getting serious about that person?
I think the telltale sign would the relationship you have with that person's children or child. You can kind of get a feeling or a vibe. If they like you, if they break you with their personality. It's like that, as you're dating that person. So if
they could wait, Tammy, they could like you and everything, but what about daddy's girl? Or, hey, this is Junior, they could like you and all of that, but it's up to the man. So to me, I think that you need to step up to the plate. When a man has children, whether they like you or they don't like you, you need to find out where you stand and hope they don't lie.
You said hope they don't lie, right?
Get really greedy, when it comes to people's estate. Family, and they get real greedy and people fall out,
territorial.
Relationships break at that time.
Very territorial.
So, you can't really hang your hat on well, we have a friendly relationship because when something happens, death happens, this is what we're talking about, it changes things.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, because I guess ultimately, again, so if you only been dating somebody for a year, 2 years, I'm gonna even stretch it to 3, and then you have these children who have grown up in this house, or they are, this land, or whatever. It's like, and then should your significant other pass away, it's like, I feel that the children are gonna feel like, why would you have any of this? Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, father's like 2 years ago. Like, why would that even be a thought in your head, ma'am? You know, and and I can, and actually, I can understand that. I truly can, because again, you'll never be able to compete with the history of you and your children, and the history of this house or this car, or sentimental. You have none of that, right? So it's like, even legal wise, you may feel like I should have it, and because I was the one taking care of your dad, XYZ, blah 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 blah. That means nothing. Let's just,
I'm sorry.
That's why you need to have that conversation up front. These are things that, we're trying to bring out in the open to share with women. Don't wait because you care about them so much. Don't wait until, you're so far down the line and you find out that, oh yeah, well, yeah, I do have a will, but all I'm leaving you is the pinky ring. The one that I have now.
Is that, well, wait a minute. Was it, I mean, we already know because they've made movies. I forget what that little guy, he was a singer and he married, well, Vivica Fox played it, and
Oh, Frankie Lyman.
Frankie Lyman. Okay, he had all those wives and they contested. I think James Brown, they kept him in waiting because the 2 wives were like trying to figure out whatever before they buried the man. I mean, stars go through this all the time.
Oh yeah.
We probably don't know it, but they go through this all the time.
Yeah, they do.
So Wendy, what are your thoughts?
Well, I look at it from a perspective of, I am that kid. I'm that adult kid, okay? My mother has passed on, in the 90s, 95, she passed on. So yeah, the house is I'm going to inherit the house. That's how she wanted it. That's how my dad plans it. But between me and my sister, I should say. So, but I do have that. I have some reservations about fighting with people after somebody has passed on. That just does not seem right to me.
That's
I think
normal,
you gotta
girl.
kind of figure out what's fair,
the problem in this dynamic is, you okay, we are not connected by blood. Obviously, we would not be the mother of those children.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem, right? So I fully understand what you're saying, because I was thinking about the situation, with my mom and her house or whatever, and I'm like, ain't nobody gonna come, whoever, if my mother was dating somebody and they got married. I've known that house for 20 years. I didn't grow up in that house, but it's like, I can't see some other man
Yeah.
getting that house.
Right.
I just,
Go ahead. You were gonna say something, Bonnie?
Oh, I was gonna say my hope she's not listening, but my one of my relatives, let's put it like that. One of my relatives made sure that they made their will up so that their husband would not get anything if they died first, that it would go to her son and her niece. Okay. So there are people that think like that. Those are
you don't know.
Right.
You won't know.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know if they're gonna lie to you. You don't know if there was something else in the plan that they are going to be closed mouthed about, or are they going to be honest? Look, hey, when I die, I'm dead. my kids got everything, let them bury me, you know.
I just think it's something that, because right as we're talking now, it's an eye opener for me because I never really thought about that, and I know that I want to be with someone that's hopefully in my age group, but who knows? Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, and if they are in my age group, they could possibly, have older children. And I'm not going to say what I expect or what I don't expect, but what I would like to know is what the intentions are so that I don't have to, there are no issues as things progress, because especially if you end up taking care of someone, because you have situations where women end up taking care of their husband and the kids are nowhere to be found until a funeral.
Until the will is read.
Exactly.
And
Until
that's
the
right.
will is read.
This topic reminded me of the hospice topic, even though that one was a little hardcore. Okay.
Hospice,
But the thing about it is you never know when your time or your day is. So just because you're with an older man, me personally, I subscribe to that whole 12-year thing. I like
12 years younger.
Yeah, that was Flora's thing. Our friend
Flora's thing. Yeah, I like that. I like
12, 12 years up or down is okay.
Plus or minus, yeah. Yeah, so that would mean like that's a huge span, okay? But the thing about it is you never know. The sick person doesn't always die, right?
Right.
Some person been sick for years, but then somebody healthy dies, right? So
exactly.
You don't know. So it is something to think about. It is a caution, But I mean, I say live your life and be happy with the person that you find love with.
Just to the fact that we don't know when our day is going to come. So
exactly.
we need to enjoy every day as it comes.
And you could also protect yourself with the prenup. And that's how you can introduce the conversation when you spoke, Chris, about talking about it, because it does need to be done up front. You don't want surprises at the end when you've spent your time, you've had time and emotions invested in someone, and then you got to get your bags and leave. So
I know, right?
Yeah, so
start all over again.
Well, even not so much that, but it's like you probably thought that, since moving all your stuff in here and cater to him doing this and that, and maybe during his illness, you never thought you would leave, right? But then you do end up leaving because you get kicked out, because now, according to this will or paperwork or whatever, you have to go. So, but I think if you have that conversation up front, like with a prenup.
So wait, because I always thought the prenup was protecting your assets and protecting their assets, and only if they cheated. I didn't know we could put a clause in, if you die first, I get everything.
Yeah, there's all types of prenups.
Oh, okay.
A lot of wealthy people have prenups that say if we stay married for 5 years, you get $10 million or something like that. But if we don't, then you get $1 million. So there's all kinds of prenups today. But ladies, so that's not something that would deter you, right? Is that what we're saying?
It's a snag.
You said it's a snag, Bunny. It's a snag in the lining. I like that. It's a snag in the lining. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, again, for me, it's going to, during the dating process, it is going to determine my relationship or how I am relating with his children. Because you don't just marry him, you marry the family.
Yes.
So I don't want to be having engagements that always make me feel uncomfortable, because when you marry somebody, they will come up to your house, you have holidays. But if you've been dating this person for, let's say, a whole year, and the vibe is not love, or they're not really embracing you, that's going to be a turnoff for me. It is just flat gonna be a turnoff, because
that's you saying with the family. Are you saying, Tammy, if the family isn't embracing you and loving you, that's the turn off?
Yeah, because it's not him. So if you're telling me you have 2 daughters, and and they don't like me. So I don't want, so when it comes time for Thanksgiving, Christmas, or birthday celebrations, if I'm always made to feel like an outcast, I'm always going to be bringing the conversation up with you. No, I don't want to go over there. No, okay, they can come over here, but I won't be, because
Right.
Well, then
It's-
that's not a good relationship. So, that's no way to. I mean, but it does. People do live like that because they may love their partner, but they don't like their children, and they don't want to be around the children. So, those kinds of relationships definitely do exist. Not one that I rather live in a different house altogether, and you can have yours, I'll have mine. We'll meet somewhere between.
no,
I'm kidding. Just kidding.
the dynamic is not you loving me as well, in terms of me loving your dad and getting to know me and embracing me, then that's when a problem ensues, and it disrupts the flow of you having a good relationship. It puts a crack or strain in the person that you're having a relationship with, because
So,
they all
So let's ask that question another way. So what if you met someone and they had older children and they came to you and they said, I have a will. I want you to know that, and I'm leaving everything to my kids. What if the guy came to you and said that, had that kind of conversation? How would you feel?
I would probably ask, okay, so what is everything? Is it that old car in the backyard? Okay, I don't care about that. Is it this house that I've been visiting you at?
It's my will. It's my will. It's the house. Whatever valuables are in the house, I've left everything. I have 3 kids. I've left everything to my kids. Everything is identified who's going to get what. I just want you to know that up front.
I would ask them, and are the children going to be in charge of your burial? Because if I'm going to be your woman, I do not want to have that responsibility and then walk away with just suitcases.
Bonnie, I'm with you on that one, so you know that.
Because I don't mind if you tell me they doing everything, and I'm feeling you and you feeling me, and we grooving and having a good time. I'm good with that, but I don't want to be saddled with the funeral and all the preparing and the everything. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I had a stepfather. He died, but the stepfather lived with my mom for, oh God, years, right? And I knew his children. They would come up to New York for the summer. They lived wherever. And my mom was living in Delaware, and I was still in Brooklyn with my stepfather, living different apartments, but checking on each other. And then he would always come to my apartment. Long story short, my stepfather had an accident and died. Okay. I did every single solitary thing. Okay. And contacted his daughter, who, however, I found her and contacted her, and no lie, she came to the funeral. And no, she came the day before the funeral and said, "Where is he?" And I told her where, and she had the papers, her name, he's her father, legally, everything. She got everything. All right. Never even came to the funeral.
What?
Yes. Yeah. So yes, Lord, that can happen.
So there are so many unique opportunities for different things to happen in this type of relationship. So
Yeah.
maybe it's just something to be aware of, however you
It's an
decide.
eye opener.
Exactly. However you decide to move within this type of relationship, you just know what you're getting in the end. So listen, don't forget to leave us a comment. We want to know your thoughts. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, ladies. And guys too, because we know you're watching as well. And also
Yes.
ring that bell so that you can get an update whenever we have new content out there. Ladies, any parting words from you?
Good seeing you again, Tammy.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Sandy. Appreciate it.
Make sure you are compatible with the person that you give your heart to, or thinking about being vulnerable with, because a lot of times, we tend to always go with our heart, but we have to mix our head in there a little bit. And I just stand firm. Compatibility is the key to the longevity of a relationship. You just got to be on the same page with a lot of things.
That's from a younger sister.
That's all about communication. It's all about, you have got to be open, have open and honest communication.
Yes.
And if you're with someone that isn't willing to have that kind of conversation, then you might want to, rethink that relationship, for sure. Definitely rethink that relationship. So ladies, Tammy is going to join us again next week as well. So Wendy, I think you look like you wanted to say something.
Oh, I was just saying thanks for joining us today, Tammy, but you're gonna be back. So cool.
Cool.
All right, ladies. So listen, once again, guys, we had a wonderful time in North Carolina. So there are things to do, and you don't have to go that far. What was it?
South Carolina, Chris.
When I say, girl, please check me.
South Carolina.
I don't know
South
why. I
Carolina.
don't know why I think there's only North Carolina. But it was, what was it, 2 hours and change, guys? It wasn't that far.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, and there's so many things, no matter where, well, we're in the Atlanta metro area, but all throughout, many cities, wherever you are, there's all kinds of things to do. So don't think you have to sit around waiting for a date. You can be your own date, actually, so
Right.
hang out with your girlfriends or whatever, because you know what? There is a silver lining, and there might be some snags, like Bonnie said, but you know what? He's out there. You will meet him eventually. All right, ladies. So listen, I will see you all next week, and just hang around for a few minutes before we go. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave comments, please.